The Los Angeles Lakers want to sign Rudy Gay. That is a topic on today's show, as there is a report from Michael Scotto that suggests the Lakers have an interest in signing the veteran small forward / power forward to a vetman deal. Also on today's show, we're talking third-string centers, because you're not going to see that anywhere else on Lakers YouTube. We're talking if the Lakers should sign Bismack Biyombo and Gorgui Dieng, two big-time, high-profile centers that you're going to want to get your eyes and ears on when it comes to the Lakers. But first, we are in the midst of a sub-battle with those stanky Boston Celtics. And guess what? If you want to win Banner 18 prior than the Celtics, the rivals of the Los Angeles Lakers, Adam Silver made the call. And I've been hearing from the higher-ups that the first team to win this sub battle will win the 18th ring next, so make sure you hit that sub button. But let's get into the meats and potatoes of today's show, and this is what Michael Scotto had to say about Rudy Gay signing with a team in free agency. Veteran forward Rudy Gay is expected to draw interest from several playoff caliber teams, including the Golden State Warriors, your Los Angeles Lakers, Dallas Mavericks, Chicago Bulls, and New Orleans Pelicans, league sources told Hoops Hype. And when you think of what Rudy Gay can bring to the table of the Lakers and to really any team in the association, you think veteran experience and shooting. Well, the problem with that is that he's been on a steady decline with his shooting efficiency over the past 4 years. 4 years ago, he was cooking with the Spurs a little bit as a rotational scoring guy who's putting up double-digit points a night, shooting 40+% from the field, 33% from three, and then 38% from three. But the past 2 years in Utah has been nothing short of rough, let's just say it there, and be nice to Mr. Gay. But with the Jazz, it's been a struggle, 34.5% from three, and last year it was real ugly, not really in the rotation all seriously. 37.8% from the field and 25% from three is something I believe I could do in the league. Maybe that's aggressive, but hey, I like to be confident in myself. But when you look at the advanced shooting numbers from last season, it's even uglier. Hide your children. You don't want to look at these numbers. Shooting on the catch-and-shoot three, 24.8% from three. I'm telling you, Producer Coop disagrees with me. You give me 3 to 4 threes a night on catch-and-shoot opportunities, I'm spanking in 2 of them. I got that strap. Pull-up field goal percentage, 44.1%. Inside the close area of the basket, 10 feet from the rim, 51%. That's not terrible. You'd like to see it get higher as you get closer to the rim. And overall shooting, 43.7%. The shooting for Rudy Gay is a little rough, and I'm just going to go out there and say it, fellas. Rudy Gay is cooked. I don't know if he would be able to benefit this Lakers roster. Obviously, they're looking for experienced guys to help win a championship with an older LeBron James next season. So Rudy Gay does fit that bill. I'm just not really sure if he can actually contribute on the court. Maybe he can give mentoring to those younger guys, but it is what it is. I think I'll pass on Rudy Gay, but I'll ask you guys, should the Lakers sign Rudy Gay? Be the GM. It is today's pinned comment, so if you do get hit with a YouTube ad break, sit back, let it play, scroll down, and answer today's pinned comment in the comment section. Now, should the Lakers sign Bismack Biyombo? Some trivia for you guys. He was actually drafted 7th overall in the 2011 NBA draft by the Kings, but he never even played for the Kings, so there's some trivia for that. But there is a report that the Lakers had Bismack Biyombo on their radar, as someone they could sign to fill out their roster. They've been very busy in this NBA offseason signing cheap veterans, but could Biyombo be that next guy? Well, Zach Buckley of Bleacher Report had this. His scoring range may not reach beyond the restricted area. He's a 55.6% career free throw shooter, but he can still add value with his size, 6'8", 255. That's a big fella. Motor and interior activity. He sets solid screens, protects the paint, fights for rebounds, and finishes a decent amount of his point-blank scoring chances. And I was looking at the Lakers roster, thinking about, could they go after Bismack Biyombo? And what I've seen from this Lakers roster, I actually like it, right? You've got a solid core with Reeves, LeBron, Anthony Davis, Rui Hachimura, and then you got Gabe Vincent and D'Angelo Russell. But now you add in Jalen Hood-Schifino, the 17th overall pick, Cam Reddish, Taurean Prince, Maxwell Lewis, Jared Vanderbilt, Max Christie flashed at Summer League, and Jackson Hayes. I'll tell you what, I like the roster, but they certainly need to add a third center, because when you have Anthony Day-to-Day Davis starting at year 5 and Jackson Hayes, who is not that experienced of a center, hasn't had a lot of production in the NBA. He was a lottery pick by the New Orleans Pelicans, but hasn't had that much success in the league. You're going to need someone more steady to steer that ship behind Anthony Davis. And could it be Bismack Biyombo? You look at the last season stats, Hayes with the Pelicans, Biyombo with the Suns, and the numbers, they're not pretty for both of them. Let's just call a spade, but what Biyombo can bring you is better defensive numbers. So they're going to average the same amount of points. Biyombo fights for rebounds better than Hayes does. The blocks per game is not too shabby at 1.4 for Biyombo in limited minutes, so you like what you're seeing there. They shoot equally from the field, and the free throw shooting is abysmal for both. But when you need Anthony Davis out for a couple games, Biyombo could help steer that shit maybe and be either the starting center when Anthony Davis is out, or he could be the backup to Jackson Hayes. But to me, they certainly need to add someone to this roster in that front court for some depth. But I'll ask you guys, do the Lakers need to sign a center, add this to their roster? Could that be a big piece to help the Lakers get over the hump in the Western Conference? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section. We go from one center that is probably dog shit to another center that is probably dog shit. And Gorgui Dieng, and I don't mean that actually seriously. These guys are obviously pretty good in the NBA, but when you look at where they rank into other centers in the league, it's not too pretty. But something interesting about Dieng is he is a much better offensive player than Bismack Biyombo. He actually has a little bit of a jumper. He can score from the mid-ranges, where Biyombo, it's strictly at the rim. I mean, you look at the three-point numbers from Dieng, and I know it's very limited, but 35%, 42.9%, 42.6%, limited volume, so you can't really expect him to hit 2 or 3 threes a game, but he can absolutely go out there and hit 1 in 3-4 attempts a night. So Dieng could help space the floor. And if you look at what the comparison was last year, and I'm sorry, guys, we're really into the weeds on this video, and this is what I absolutely love here at Chat Sports. You're not going to get this anywhere else. Lakers report diving deep into third-string centers. It's not pretty for both, just like it was for Biyombo and Hayes, but like I said, the shooting numbers for Dieng, he can space the floor a little bit. He's more of an offensive threat, as to whereas Biyombo is the guy who when he's on the court, he's producing defensively and on the glass. Dieng is more of a polished offensive guy. Remember him at Louisville. He was kind of a dog back in those Rick Pitino days. But I'm looking at these stats here. Dieng and Biyombo. You compare these specific guys. Which one would you rather sign? You probably lean Biyombo. I mean, the free throw shooting's horrible, but they average close to the same points, same close to rebounds. Biyombo is better defensively protecting the rim. He shoots better from the field, but that's just basically because he's always in the restricted area, finishing putbacks, layups, and dunks. But that free throw percentage is brutal. And but that's the thing, though. With a backup center, you're not going to need him to shoot free throws that often, because when the game means the most, it's hopefully going to be Anthony Davis on the court, not one of these two fellas. But I just broke down Biyombo and Gorgui Dieng for you guys, so let me know in the comments section which center you would rather have. If the Lakers do sign a center and it was one of these two guys, which one would you choose? Type BB for Biyombo or type GD for Dieng? Like I mentioned, I'm going with Bismack Biyombo for a couple reasons. I mentioned he is probably more reliable and he is more polished defensively. Dieng is that better offensive player, but Biyombo can protect the rim. He can finish around the rim and set pretty solid screens. Like, he's 6'8", 255. He's a pretty bulky dude. He's not going to take any contact lightly. So I think if you're going for an experienced third center to back up Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis, I think Biyombo is your guy. He didn't get played that much for the Phoenix Suns in the postseason last year, but that's what you're not really going for, because you're hoping Anthony Davis is going to be that guy for the most part. This is just a helping front court depth piece for the regular season. That's going to do it for today's show. I mean, like I've said throughout the video, where else are you getting third-string center talk on YouTube about your Los Angeles Lakers? Nowhere else but the Lakers Report. Whether it be me or whether it be someone else here at Chat Sports, we're always going to bring you the latest on the Los Angeles Lakers, so make sure you hit that sub button.